We're alone. I need to speak with you. I act that way to fool her, by exaggerating my youthfulness. Sorry I was deceptive. You deserve the truth.
Huh?
I know I caused my family much suffering, and it weighs on me more than you could know. I'm such a burden. The world would be much better off without me. But I won't waste a life they sacrificed so much to save. That would be a disservice to them, and I simply couldn't bear it. I'm masquerading as an obedient kid to gather intel on their inner circle. As for the curse, it truly pains me to deceive my own family. But my little bros... Hey!
You troublemaking maid? What the hell are you doing here?
I'm here to serve you! Why else would I leave our flame-malicious home behind, miladiness?
Don't lie to me, you hear?
Senpai? Who is this girl?
Of course you followed us. Oh, well, she's just, someone I... This is my family's maid, Ami, and she's been my personal caretaker ever since I was little.
You have a maid?
I bet anything you sweet-talk Daddy into allowing you to follow me here.
Come on, milady! You and I are childhood besties! Our bond is so much deeper than just master and servant! I only came here because I was super worried about you, girly pop!
Done.
Okay, perfect. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how about you?
I was about to say, if Zoom is acting up on me again.
Zoom can do that. Zoom's a funny thing. So I had to, I think, join and then join back in again for it to have that.
Sometimes you just gotta turn it on and off.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I was going to ask for my $16 back.
Oh.
I had to pay $60 to extend the time limits on Zoom and everything.
I didn't know that. Oh my goodness. Because it's normally 45 minutes they give you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Got you.
But if we're going to have a long conversation, we need more than 45 minutes.
Whatever it can go from.
Exactly. But how's your Friday going?
It's going good. I got a little bit of a cold, but other than that, we're fine. It's going to be a chill day.
There you go. Yeah, it's the end of the week finally, but then I know next week I got to do it all over again.
All over again. I hate the cycle.
I know. But I've gotten used to it over the last few years, so nothing to complain about. It's kind of cloudy. I know you're based in LA, right? Or is it Texas?
I'm in Texas.
Yeah, it's sunny out there, ain't it?
Actually kind of foggy to me.
Oh.
Yeah, I literally just had to look because there was sunshine. Now it's kind of going back and forth.
Oh, because it's cloudy here. There's like a storm. I'm based in Georgia.
Oh, you're in Georgia. Okay.
So yeah, it's a little bit cloudy outside. It looks like it's gonna rain, but I hope it doesn't.
I hope it doesn't either.
So let's keep it that way. Yeah, I was busy editing out my previous interview because I just talked to Ryan this Wednesday. She was pretty huge. She was very sweet. I've been trying to talk to her for almost a year now.
Ooh.
So, but she's been seeing me tagging her and whatnot and everything. I was preaching to the choir to get these guys to come to my hometown. So, no matter how hard I try, I just got to keep. They couldn't.
Be persistent.
Just got to keep trying. Be persistent.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, but it'll work.
That.
It'll work out. It'll work itself out.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, if the small talk is over, again, I want to do small talk first before we get
into
you. Thing. Some people don't do that, and then they just go straight into it. So that's not me. I'm a special kind of person.
I got you. Hey, whatever wavelength we're going, I'm ready to fly with it. That's all I'm saying.
There you go. Well, let's get this underway. So, happy Friday, everybody. And yes, it is anime, which that means for anime, Crunchyroll, the May of anime. You get the whole point. So, happy Friday, everybody. So As usual, my name is Phil. I'm host of the Conversation Podcast, and I have a guest with me here today, this Friday. Introduce yourself. Who's Darien McArthur I'm speaking to today?
Hi, so I'm Darien McArthur. I just started in the anime sphere, but for about 2 years I was in the webtoon sphere and I was in the video game sphere. I have done stuff like Fogland, I have done stuff like School Bus Graveyard. In anime now, I have done Reborn as a Vending Machine as Hai, and then I have done Mistress Kanan is Devilishly Easy as Ami recently. All that just came out of nowhere. Everything was just bam, 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 bam. But yeah, that's me. I'm based in Dallas, Texas, and I've been doing this for about 2 years.
Well, hey, that's okay. You got to start somewhere first before you go. You got to walk before you can run.
Exactly.
So it takes time. So
Mm-hmm.
now, before we get into it, let's do a little bit of an icebreaker here.
Okay.
Now, what's one place that you want to really travel to, but you haven't had a chance to yet?
Oh my goodness. I want to see Italy so bad. I want to see Italy. I think it would be beautiful to just be in Europe, but Italy specifically, or Greece, because there's like these hotels that literally overlook the ocean, and I think that'd just be gorgeous.
Okay, okay. It is a nice place. Yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to go to different countries myself. I'm still dead set on going to Japan, but I
Mm-hmm.
also want to check out Singapore and Vietnam.
Oh, I heard those are beautiful. I heard they're beautiful.
Yeah, there's a friend of mine who I interviewed last month in well, sorry, it's already May, 2 months ago in March,
Mm-hmm.
who says her family were Vietnamese. So she said, if you ever go, we should go together and check it out.
Oh, so you'll have a tour guide. They're gonna show you the real stuff. They're gonna show you
Mm,
everything beautiful.
exactly, and that's my plan. I am trying to like take myself abroad and go check out the other countries, and I do have plans to take this abroad as well, and just maybe ask people what their culture is like and everything.
Oh, that would be cool. Now that would be really, really cool.
But gotta have the money first. That's
That
that's
that
that's
part. That
yes,
part.
gotta have money first. But it'll work itself out. I believe it will.
It will.
So the way I've done this, now that the ice is broken, the way I've done this, I divide this
Mm-hmm.
up into I have 20 questions and I divide them up into sections so we can keep track.
Okay.
So let's start with the usual origins and beginnings. Now, what first drew you into voice acting and what made you commit it to seriously?
Dang, I'm just thinking. Okay, so one of the big things was I was 8 years old playing Sonic Unleashed, and I thought Jason Griffith was so cool that I was like, I want to do what he's doing. Like, it's that beginning cutscene that you see in like Sonic Unleashed. That's like still the
Yes.
most coolest cutscene in like Sonic history to this day. And I was like thinking to myself, I was like, wow, I want to like tell a story like that. And then it was like Sonic and the Black Knight. Like there's just a bunch like Sonic in general. It was I literally have a print signed of Jason Griffith and like this is the only time I have not been professional and I was being a complete fangirl to him and he's the sweetest person. You ever meet Jason Griffith, he's the sweetest human being.
I
Like
actually met him 2 years ago at MomoCon.
he's so sweet. Like he's just oh my god.
I don't know if you saw my Instagram, but I did post some clips and some
Mhm.
like video game walkthroughs of Sonic Unleashed. I don't know if you saw them.
I saw that. So when
Hmm.
we were talking about this, I was like, oh, I know exactly. No, but that genuinely was the pivot to it. And then it goes, because I never did theater like everybody else. That's the thing that's very different about me. I don't have a theater background whatsoever. The only time I started taking it seriously was 2023, and I was doing marketing for this arcade at the time. And I
Right.
see AJ Beckles on my TikTok that says, hey, you want to be a voice actor? And I said, oh, so I started joining all these discords, and then I was like worried because it's like I'm pretty sure you've heard this from other voice actors. There's so much money that comes into this. There's
Yeah.
so much equipment and everything. So it's like I took some classes with Morgan Berry for like 3 months, just like straight. I would do like 2 classes like every week, and because I wanted to make sure that if I was going to do this career, it was going to be something viable, and I knew that I would be able to do it. And so after that, I asked Morgan after 3 months, I was like, hey, do you think I'm ready? And they were like, yeah, I thought you were already auditioning. And I was like, oh, my bad. So ever since, that's how it started, basically. That's the origins of it.
That's sweet. So that's really amazing. And like I said, you always got to start somewhere. Take those classes. Like I've seen so many people, and I will. Can I ask you one question?
Of course.
You've heard of the term imposter syndrome, right?
All too well.
Yes. There's a few people who struggle with that, no matter what career you're doing, like, whether it's voice acting or tattoo artists. And I've spoke to a few tattoo artists on here. I haven't spoke to a tattoo artist in a while. I need to get back to that.
Hey, I got
This,
plenty of them I can recommend.
yeah, there's a lot of people today who do sort of things, and it's like, do I really belong in this some space? And it's nice that you have people who've done this for like almost like decades to come up to you and say, "Hey, you can do this. You belong in this
Yeah.
space." Like I interviewed Jack Broadbent back in November of 2025, back in season one, and
Mm-hmm.
we talked about the same thing, and he was approached by Ian Sinclair, who does We Send Dragon Ball Super and all that
Yeah.
stuff, and he said like, "Hey, we're gonna have a great time here today." And you gotta have those special kind of moments where a big person comes up and say you that, "Hey, you belong in a space. You can do amazing things if you put your mind to it. Don't worry about how long it's going to take you to get there. Worry about what you're doing now."
Absolutely. That I could not preach that more than you did. Because it's like, those things like voice acting, they're like pipe dreams that like you want to do it, but how do you get from point A to point B? And it's like being told by like a mentor to be able to be like, "Hey, you can do this. Why are you not auditioning now? I thought you were." That was like the pivotal point where I was like, "Okay, this is going to this. This is going to this. This is going to this." I could show you what my booth looked like before and then after, and it was the biggest motivating factor was, like you said, somebody telling me I could do it. And so ever since then, it's been such a ride and a half, and so many lessons I've learned.
Hey, I have my moments. I'm just trying to make sure I just, say the right things. I've been paying
Hmm.
attention to more stuff. I have so many voice actors tell me that I'm a pretty wise person for 25. I'm only 25 years old.
I'm 25. I'm 20.
There you go. I have so many people who are coming up to like telling me that I'm a wise person for someone who's a young age. Well,
Hmm.
I think I just get that from my grandmother. And I just,
Oh,
I just like saying inspirational stuff. Like sometimes there's gonna be like those dark days out there, and it's like, how do we navigate it? And yeah, life's difficult. It's not easy.
no, for sure. I literally have lived with my grandparents my whole life. Like that, like me learning from them. So understanding the grandma mentality, that's my grandma right now. She has given me so much wisdom that even though I was younger looking back at it, like, what are you telling me to do? Now I'm like, okay, she wasn't just telling me BS. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. Keep listening to those people. And, like I say, if it helps, pick up a book and read something. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to myself too. I haven't read a book in a while. I need to get back to doing that. I just been
Absolutely.
doing other amazing things.
Mm-hmm.
As, me being an independent journalist, I have to read more and like try to like understand context of the shows you guys are doing for one thing, but also what's
Yeah,
going on in our world today as well.
absolutely.
So. Um, Next, do you remember the exact moment where it clicked like, hey, this is what I want to do?
That moment, I want to say it was also with Morgan Berry. It was the pivotal moment for sure, but it was the moment that I've learned what rejection truly meant, and it was me holding on to this one audition that I was doing, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna book this. I'm gonna book this. I'm gonna book this." And then when I didn't, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was very upset, and I'm not gonna sit here and sugarcoat it like I'm perfect in that way, but it was me like sitting there, and then finally after like a day of being upset, I'm like, I want to get back up and do it again. This is my life. This is my career. This is all sometimes I can think and breathe and talk about. Like that was a pivotal moment, being like, wow, I don't want to do anything other than this, and I don't see myself being anything other than a voice actor, and that's the god honest truth.
I understand. I actually like that too, because once you step your foot into that door, that's it. You like what you like doing, and because listen, and I've talked to so many people lately on this when I started this whole thing. They have all different stories of how they want to do a certain thing. Voice actors. Like I knew I liked voicing because I'm into all this pop culture stuff. Anyway, by the way, I'm
Exactly.
wearing my new Super Mario Galaxy
No,
shirt
I love
today.
it. I saw
So,
that. I love
so,
it.
so I listen. The movie was amazing. I recommend you go check it out.
Me
But going
too.
back to that, because I'll also say this. I don't know if you saw, but I actually also interviewed a mermaid person too.
Hmm.
Yeah, her name is Mermaid JC. She's in Canada,
Ooh.
so she's actually gonna be at Anime North in Canada because
Ooh.
she's doing a panel over there. So
Okay.
she was telling me like I like doing this because I grew up like with mermaids and everything like Ariel, the Little Mermaid, etc. So same thing with you. Like I like this because I grew up with watching the movies, the TV shows, the video games, and I was like, well, shoot, I want to do the same thing that they're doing because
Hmm.
it's fun.
Yes, and it's like I think the most perfect and like the most satisfying thing to me is like the audition process and like you're building this character like from brick by brick. Like I will sit there and like for an hour sometimes with a really good audition that I will sit there and be like, okay, I don't like the pitch. I don't like this. I think this character talks like this. I think this character has more nasal. I think like and just building this character, but the hardest thing to do sometimes is to close the door after you're done and walk away because you're like, dang, I just got connected and I just built this character and now I have to say goodbye until we can see them again.
Yeah, that's tough, and
Mm-hmm.
and I- and that's true too because you have to deal with a lot of rejections because it's not easy as it comes, and when you step into something new, you got to understand the pros and cons.
Exactly.
Like the pros of voice acting, it can be funny. You can do like so many amazing characters, but the cons, you don't get a lot of many characters as you can. You just got to deal with those rejections.
Exactly.
And other thing too that I've also been paying attention to, like, and this is something that I overheard someone saying, like, even once the show is done, y'all gotta find new stuff, new characters, the voice, and it's not easy because there's so many people auditioning for these roles. And so that's why in my mind I was like, hey, let me tell you something. My sister said you should be a voice actor too, but in my head I was like, I maybe short of, I'm not sure because you have to deal with a lot of rejections, and plus after the stuff is done, like what's left for us to do. That's why I have like so many like concerns and just like sometimes I get stressed out at night just trying to sleep saying I can't do this kind of stuff because it's not going easy as it seems.
Mm-hmm. I
But
understand that.
but I might think about it in the future, but who knows? Right now, I'm just sticking to being like, listen, I graduated in school with a bachelor's in media production and journalism.
Okay.
So I at least I got something to do. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the whole voice acting thing is not fulfilling. Because Cricket Leg, who does May in Avatar: The Last Airbender, she's a therapist now.
Mm-hmm.
Like she's saying voice acting, well, it wasn't, but she wanted more to do. And listen, some of you guys out there in Texas and California, y'all do this because like we like voicing characters and showing or expressing ourselves in these shows and animations. But y'all also get to the point where it's like, oh, we got more. Listen, I'm venting here. There are so
You're
many
good.
of y'all right now who have other careers besides just voice acting. Some of y'all got your own studios. You guys are like doing like, what else? Like audio engineering. You guys are singers. The list goes on. I can say that.
Yeah.
But at least some of y'all know, like, hey, this isn't all that I do. You guys are people of many talents.
Mm-hmm. It's just we happen to just love being able to create characters and build them and give them life. Like you said, voice acting is fulfilling, but even I had to come with the realization, and this is something that I think a lot of people need to take a step back from, is that in the beginning of your voice acting journey, you're learning so much information, you're talking to people, all you're doing is voice acting, voice acting, voice acting, voice acting. And I had to learn this year that I need to learn to take a step back and be like, what did I like before this? What was I like before all the voice acting stuff? Like what did I like to do that I don't have to say the word of voice acting in the sentence? And I have learned that, I mean, I literally was a barista for 5 years. That was my thing. I wanted my own coffee shop. I wanted to be able to go around the world and literally just go, like, experiment and just figure out, like, what notes go with these beans. And, like, that was my big thing. And so I honestly, like, in my lifetime, definitely want to have, like, a viable career, but also be able to, like, go to LA with my partner and we just go, like, have a coffee shop. Something simple. I'm fine with a simple life. And to me, that's, like, the epitome of, that's it. That's my perfect life.
Exactly. That's perfect. And listen, that's all we want. Like, we just want to live at the end of the day. Because, once the show's over, because I've been saying this to a lot of you guys, like, once the show is over or whatever you're doing, like, fun projects, like, the next day you guys are back to your normal lives. And
Exactly.
y'all got to navigate what's next for you guys.
No, yeah, because, like, I'm doing, like, a show right now, and I even had that worry. I absolutely love Ami. I think that she's great. I think that the show's funny, and every time I go into the recording session, I love it. But I also have to remind myself, this is only 12 episodes. Like, this is only going to be that, and it might not even be, like, a season 2. That's just how it is. And so it's like, even if I had a show like One Piece, eventually it's going to end. And that character is going to be remembered, but I'll never be able to voice that character again like that. Unless it's, like, for cons and stuff like that. But that final scene of when you're doing your ADR and then, curtains close, you're like, damn, that was it. So it is that bittersweet thing. And then we're always chasing. We're always chasing for a new high or whatever it is. I literally said, voice acting is like gambling, like that gambling addiction.
Yeah.
You win one time, and then you're like, I'm on cloud 9, and now I get to show everybody, and now I'm excited to be here, and I'm excited to voice this character. And then it's like, are you going to win again? Because I've done, like, at least 100 auditions, I think, last year, and I only booked 10. And, that's, like, hard to face, but that's something that I think a lot of people need to understand. But like you said, the worry in this career is that, but it's also, like, once you get to a space where you're comfortable with rejection, it's so much fun to just be like, wow, that audition was so good, and then close the book. It's a lot more comforting once you learn rejection.
Exactly. And other thing too is like when something big happens, that's it. Now we gotta wait for the next big thing to happen. And that's what I'm saying. Like y'all gotta have like a foundation with not just voice acting but other careers as well. Like, okay, this we're done with this stuff. Now, what can we do in the meantime until something else comes up?
Exactly.
That's what you have to treat it. It took me a while to learn that because I know once I keep like doing all these interview episodes and everything, like it's gonna be a while before I have my next guest. And it's like, okay, well, shoot, like because I know some of you guys are busy, but you guys are busy and everything, trying to book and do auditions, I found other people to talk to, not just you guys. If I just focus on one thing. And I think that's the problem. Some people don't understand. You focus on one thing, but there's so much else going on in life that you don't see happening. Then you're stuck. You can't move.
Exactly, and you can't sit there and wait for something to happen. You have to take your own destiny in your own hands.
You gotta get after it.
You gotta get after.
Exactly. Oh, next up, what were your earliest influences? You already know this question, but you already know the answer to this, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Shows, games, or actors that inspire you?
We'll get Jason Griffith out of the way. I already went on my spiel. I'll do that. Next one has to be Laura Bailey. Laura Bailey just gives these performances that are so raw and real, and like she just has this range and understanding. She might sometimes like you can pinpoint it's her, but the way that she just embodies these characters that you're like, dang, Laura Bailey, I had no idea that could have been you. But like Laura Bailey for sure. And I think I want to say my second one, probably Caitlin Glass. Caitlin Glass just has this, and I would feel like for myself, a lot of people have different opinions. I would say that my natural range is a medium talking range. That's what I would say. Like that's normally, but normally I get booked for like the higher characters, which is like the medium highs and like everything like that. But Caitlin is such a refreshing voice actor because she just has so many different ranges. She understands the craft. She's a director, so she understands both sides on how to be able to understand that. I just think she is an extremely talented individual that I would love to be able to be like her one day, because she is I want to be a director. That is my big thing, is like, I want to be able to help people like really just get that inner part of themselves and release it, so that it's like we're giving you that full potential in those amazing shows. So yeah, Laura Bailey, Caitlin Glass, and Jason Griffith.
Caitlin Glass is actually going to be in my hometown this July.
Oh,
So I haven't seen her for 2 years since she came back in January of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, she's coming back. What am I going to do? I'm stuck. I'm lost, confused right now. Thing is, I am trying to see, and I've been talking to the director. I just sent him another email yesterday while I was working, because I'm trying to do a one-on-one interview with Caitlin Glass. Because I was like, if I'm gonna like be like more in depth instead of just being like a huge fanboy, I need to be like, okay, so maybe I need to take the next part of my what I learned from college seriously and do the journalism thing seriously. So
Mm-hmm.
that's but that's my next move, was to try to see if I can talk to Caitlin Glass this July one-on-one, because she's very sweet.
She
And
is.
yes, but yeah, but going back to, yeah, all those people you named, Lauren, sorry.
You're fine.
Laura Bailey, Jason Griffin, Caitlin Glass. Yes, those are amazing superstars who've been doing this thing for a long time. And I've been saying, and I've been hearing this from a lot. These guys that I've been trying to get, for a while, like, these guys are like S-class people. Like, they're S-class voice actors. And, but when I spoke to Ryan on Wednesday, she was saying, I may seem like a big voice actor, but I'm not. That's what she's saying. But I guess that's her just being humble.
But honestly, like, I've met some of them before, and like just being like around that, you learn to kind of realize, like, I've kind of like did this thing where, of course, I fangirled for like at least a year, and then I've become friends with these people that I'm like, dang, like me and you are just friends talking it up, and we're chilling. Like,
Yeah.
it's so incredible to see like the people that like you were like fangirling about, like it just having a moment, be like, oh my god, you're so talented. You're stripped that away, and that's, you learn that they're just people. And the more that you treat them like they're just people, the more that it's so much easier to have a conversation, because that barrier with even within yourself is now put down to where you two can talk to each other.
Exactly. Listen, my
Mm-hmm.
goal, I don't care what you guys are like, everyone is welcome in my space. I just want to
Absolutely.
talk, and I just be like, and I told this to Kelsey Cruz. I think you know who Kelsey is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's also very sweet. I told her, listen, I don't want to talk to y'all not just as voice actors. I want to talk to y'all as people.
Absolutely.
That's why, listen, you'd be surprised how many messages I be getting on my Instagram DMs. I say, hey, is this an anime podcast? We don't see a lot. I was like, it's like I gotta just break it down for y'all in bits.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not an anime podcast. It's a general podcast. If I could, I would make it all by anime. But listen, I guarantee you guys, listen, Darian, I guarantee y'all get tired about talking about anime every day. I guarantee y'all get tired of it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it gets to a point, but I am also like a huge, okay, I am the 2020 actors. Like, I would say
Okay.
like the 2000 to the 2010 actors, they kind of got into anime because it was like, they were doing theater and they just needed to make a quick extra buck. You've heard that story enough from like a lot
Yeah.
of them. But like the 2020 actors that have come for voice actors, they have come in and said, I've been a huge nerd. I could sit here and talk about it. For me, I saw your Sonic thing in the background, and that's all I wanted to talk about for this podcast. But I
Yeah.
had to be quiet because, like, for me, I love anime. So if you want to talk about it, I have a Vegeta tattoo. I have 2 Hellsing tattoos.
That's
I don't mind
amazing.
it. Mm-hmm.
Great. Yeah, I got this signed poster from Dominic Glover himself, the artist. And I'm actually met his friend Darlene Pham. She's very sweet. I interviewed her last 2 months ago.
Oh, that's really cool. Okay,
Uh,
that's really, really cool. Oh my
yeah, I
god.
think you've heard him. He's done a lot of artwork, so
Mm-hmm.
still need to get a frame for this darn thing. Like, I haven't
Still,
gotten a frame yet. Just money.
Nah, I understand completely. I get it.
So it'll come. But yes, all those people, you go sit down because I know because like I said, all those S class people, you just sit down and talk to them, because one time I seen so many people who are actually like close friends, people like SS Goshen, she's close friend with Stephanie Nalandi, who's the voice of Kid Goku, and I was like, okay, well, shoot. Well, she's been doing Dragon Ball content for a while. She's going to conventions trying to, and like I said, like all she does is Dragon Ball content, and she's
Mm-hmm.
friends with most. She's like close friends with most of the Dragon Ball voice actors.
Mm-hmm. She
So
is.
you got listen. If you put out the work and show how hard you're doing it, the stuff will come later. Like you don't ask up front because it's not gonna no. It's gonna take years and blood and sweat to get this perfected the way you need to. And then people will be like, hey, I respect your work. Let's talk about more or like I later say on a like personal level and stuff, how you got to, point A to point B.
Mm-hmm. And I love that. I love the way this is going so far. Especially for my first interview. This is actually like so much fun. You're doing so good. I just want you to know that. You probably already do, but I'm just wanted you to know.
Well, every day I wake up and I just try my best.
And I love it. It's genuine. I can literally tell our conversations are very genuine, so I'm having a great time.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I want to keep that same energy going forward.
Got you.
So now, lastly, for this section one, will be in section two. Now, how did your journey actually begin? Classes, another stupid question. Classes, self-taught, or jumping straight into auditions?
I don't mind. No, it was me just blabbering, so I don't mind just saying it now. I'll say it again. Just like I kind of clip notes. Didn't have a theater background whatsoever. Thought I wasn't good enough for theater because I was a sports girly. I literally did swimming, softball, and volleyball. That's all my brain like literally took up, and I would sit there and watch Haikyuu for my volleyball, like literally for like competitions and stuff like that.
There you
But
go.
I never thought that it would. I was good enough. And like even like my friends when I was like in my early 20s, like they would like tell me, I'm like, I want to do anime. And they were like, you just don't have the voice. You just don't seem like you would be able to do that. And like I just kind of, I took it to heart at the time. And then 2023 I had experiences. I was getting classes, did ILI, I did workshops, and like the biggest thing that I have like proven for myself is literally the fact that I'm making it viable. Like like that's what gets me about people when they tell you you can't or you shouldn't, you don't have the voice or whatever, cuz it's like what do you mean by that? Because voiceover isn't just anime. That's the biggest thing that we can say. It's not just anime. It's like, do you have the commercial voice? Do you have this? And even if you don't have the voice, are you able to really sell this product? Are you really to make things believable? So honestly, 2023 was the biggest rocket ship of my entire life and has like changed everything and like the better.
I like that, Darian. I will say this. I've heard there's so many instances where we go to elementary school. I listen. I was bullied in elementary school.
You're
I
here.
think I got punched in the face twice on Fridays.
Oh.
But I didn't let the scars take over my life. I stayed focused on what I had to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because, those people, back then, they were being jerks, but we get to a certain point, we need to block the negativity out. We're
Mm-hmm.
focusing on what we have to do to be successful in life. And your story, where people say, oh, you don't have the voice, you can't be in an anime or whatnot. Here's the thing, my folks never believed that I would be talking to voice actors. They didn't believe I could do it. But I stayed focused and I endured and just got to where I am now.
And I love that. I love stories like this. Like it stories like this just genuinely make me happy because like we get put into a box all the time in life and just by how we are, what we do, or how we are, especially with me like literally finding out in 2020 like two that I was autistic. I had no idea for the longest time. And I should have known when I was watching FBI profiler videos on how to be able to understand people's facial recognitions. And it was me like genuinely feeling like I was never in the right place or like I never fit in and voice acting has made me feel like I fit in, because I can be the goofiest, weirdest, funny, sad, emotional part of myself that like now people can relate to and understand, because as you get it, like I was bullied too, and like you feel alone. But when you're able to do the things that you want to do and be able to show people that you persevered and did everything that you wanted, and now like shows a precedence that it's like, wow, other people now, the younger generation, like people that were like in my position can now be like me, because I'm showing that I was just like you. Now you can be whatever you want to be.
Exactly. Sometimes we have to have those. Life is not just about remembering the good stuff. It's also remembering about the bad stuff as well. And how do we, learn from it and move on?
Exactly.
And listen, you're gonna make mistakes. It's inevitable. Like, I've made so many mistakes in my lifetime that I just learn from it and just keep the train going.
Keep the train going.
So, let's keep that mindset, that Darian.
Let's
But for
keep
both of
going.
us.
Keep it going. Don't look back. Let's just keep going.
So, well, now we're in section two, the growth and craft. Now, as you said before, you've been in the industry for 2 years. Now, what's the biggest lesson so far?
That is a difficult one. I want to say not the right one, but like the one that's genuinely been the biggest for me. I would definitely, it has to be the rejection therapy. Rejection itself, because like the more because nobody's going to tell you all the time that hey, you didn't do this or you didn't do that. Like it's that silent rejection, and like watching somebody else be the thing that you wanted to be, but then having to face the reality of, well, you just weren't meant for that role. That's not every character I have ever voiced so far going in my career has been an extension of me within some way, to where the director could completely understand where I was coming from. Like, one of the big ones for me is Taylor from School Bus Graveyard, and just how much depth I had to put into that, because I have a sibling just like she does. And it was just that fact of like her having this facade of like trying to be happy and trying to be positive, and then the one thing in her life just completely crumbles. And then she crumbles with it, and everybody's like, whoa, why are you acting like that? And it's like, well, why could she not act like that in the first place? Why is it crazy when she's having these big emotions, but you guys can, but she can't? So why do you think that she's acting weird for finally just saying enough? And those moments just genuinely just hold so tight to me. So it's like when I sit here and I think about rejection, and I'm like, dang, I wish I could have that character. It just wasn't meant for me, and I have to respect that, and that's something I've had to learn.
Yeah, rejection is really heartbreaking, but sometimes you just gotta, put your pride aside and just, understand it's not meant for me. Let's go on to the next thing and see if that
Exactly.
works. Again, it's the same cycle. Rejection. Let's go do something else. Again and again and again. It doesn't stop. And
Never.
I've seen so many people just, they just immediately stop. Like
They do.
I'm not in Texas and California, but I do pay attention. I do be aware of my surroundings, and I understand, okay. So like some people just like quit before they actually do something because they've been rejected, and it's like give it a chance. Like let it breathe first.
And
It's like, you gotta let it, it's like letting a flower bloom. Put some soil in the ground, you water it, and it takes time to just grow and blossom into something beautiful.
exactly. It's that you gotta kill your ego in order to be humble. That's like a big thing. I think like a lot of people get into this industry, they want to do anime, they want to be the protagonist, they want to be something cool, but they don't want to work up to it. Like I've had multiple people, casting call club is like a great way for beginners to audition. But they're like, oh, I don't like this art style, I don't like this, I don't like that, I want to do something bigger. But it's like you haven't worked up to being bigger. You haven't showed that you can be trusted, that you can understand the responsibilities, that you have the range of those characters for the bigger IPs. You have not built from the bottom up to gradually grow yourself up. And
Exactly.
the ego that's sometimes within this is like you need to just step back and be like, bro, you need to let go of that ego because it's going to be your killer and that's why you're going to quit because you can't handle it.
Yeah, and this goes back to exactly whatever you're doing. Like you gotta show. Listen, when I started this whole thing, and I knew it was gonna take time. Darian, do you know how close I am to 100 episodes right now? Like I'm
How
that
close?
close,
Oh,
cause I've done the work. Like
absolutely.
you gotta do the work first. Like you, I can't like listen. One, it's hard to get so many people to talk to on one thing. Same thing with you, like auditions. You gotta make sure you have the work to back up your stuff. Like if you're doing the work, people will come to you and ask questions and bring you for more opportunities. Like show your work first. Let's see what you've done. You just come in and be like, I could do this or what. When I was like. Well, sure, but what's your resume like? What have you like done in the last few years? And that's what I had to learn when I started saying like, I know it's gonna be a while before I get to some of you big names out there, you know. Now if I get a few here and there, and this goes back to what I was saying, like, when I was talking to Anthony Bowling the other day, I was telling him, and I spoke to Chris. There's another person I spoke to, Chris Vaca. He actually agreed and did both agree on my same points. I was saying like, sure, like these guys are not easy to get to and talk to, like, because I kept I was being, sometimes I'd be pessimistic and say like, well, until I get to a certain level, I'm not even worth these people time right now. But they also told me you can't think like that. You can't. That's negative thinking. Like, even Anthony was saying like, you can't think like that. He was saying, and it's not, I like, there's still people they want to talk to. Like, that's when he was saying when he was trying to get like Chris Sabat for interviewing, like, for a role. And, Anthony was talking to this woman who's saying, like, hey, he's a voice actor. He's being paid to act. So this goes back to what I was saying, like, just shoot your shot, see if they're available at that time. So
You never know.
exactly. Like, don't say like, it's not if they're worth their time, it's if they have time. And this goes back to your situation, like the rejections. There's gonna be so many rejections out there. You like, listen, you can't win or lose if you don't try first.
You can't, hey, you miss all the shots you don't take. You miss all the shots
Exactly.
you don't take.
So yeah, so like, listen, if y'all don't get the role, shoot, let's go find something else to do. Wait until something else comes up, but keep trying. Like, you like I listen. I know, no, everything every day's not gonna be like, oh, sunshine and buttercups, but you get up and you keep trying.
Exactly.
Sorry, it feels like I preached there for a long time.
No, 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 no. It needed to be heard. It needed to be said. That's all it is.
So sometimes I listen. I do have my venting moments in these episodes as well.
No, you're just revealing it because it's like when something connects with you, you want to speak on it. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason that we have these feelings, like, right within our chest right here where we just need to say it. It's not like we don't have a filter. It's just like something telling us, hey, this needs to be put out into the world.
Right. But with you, Darian, I think you're in a good position. You're doing the work. So, and I like some of the stuff you put out there. I've been looking at your page and everything. So,
Thank you.
I'm going to keep watching and I'm going to keep supporting and watching your work going forward.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I really do.
And I just be telling people, like, it may not be huge, but celebrate the small victories. It may not be what you're looking for, but you're getting there.
You're getting there.
So, next up, now, how do you approach building a character from the ground up?
Okay, you know what? We're gonna we're gonna put out something. I'm gonna do an example. I just randomly have this here. All right, let me get this. So I have a milk tank. So we're gonna go from here. So actually, let's do Monica. That's more in my register. So I have a Monica figurine, right?
Okay.
And so what I look at first is I look at their expressions on their face. Like, does she look happy? Does she look like she wants to be here? Does she look distant? Do her eyes look like she's darting away, or do they look like they're looking directly at me? Because when, like, eyes, like, look directly at you, that means they're engaged. But when eyes are distant or alone, they're hiding something. So, and then I'm looking at the color palettes, because color palettes mean a lot. Like, color theory is like a huge thing in psychology, and that's actually what I wanted to be, was a psychologist. But like, color theory is a huge thing, like, when this spear. So like, pink, like this light pink and the reds and everything, she's very optimistic. And that's something to be easily shown within that. And then, after I look at her design and everything like that, I read the specs. My big things are my who, what, where, when, whys. And like, where is she from? Who is she with? Where does she go? Like, all those W's that were put into that. And then I build a character by being like, okay, she's younger, so I'm gonna kind of like probably talk like this, like within this register, because, you know, I want to make sure that I'm light, and I want to make sure I'm engaging. I really want to be able to have fun, because like, I love the world that's around me. And that's like what she's showing. So, and then I'm like, okay, does this hit or does this hit? And maybe she's a little more distant. It just depends on like the body language that the character is giving me in the specs. And then I get to the 3 lines. Here's what I do for my 3 lines. I always make sure that I give a completely different take that is going so risky that it's like, why would she do that? But it's like, in my mind, if I'm able to let you understand why I did what I did, it kind of goes that way. Like those long pauses sometimes during sentences to really hold that tension. Or it's me giggling midway because my character is just a giggly character. So she's like giggling halfway through the sentences. Fun stuff like that. I just really go as in depth as I can. If it's for anime, a lot of the times what I'll do, and this is normally I feel like I do all the time, but I'll either read the source material, or I will look at the original J and see how that person sounds, and kind of go from there and seeing what we can kind of integrate from that. And then I'll probably do like the J for one take, and then I'll do one that's like inherently what I see as the character. But I know that's like all over the place, but that's how I kind of see it. I love doing what I do, especially seeing somebody that literally did FBI profiler videos and doing psychology and wanting to be a therapist. I'm seeing all those things that like I put into like how you would normally do like psychology, and then just amplifying it and putting it into like acting.
Yeah, you're doing the same thing with all the other people. What some people will do, do research and look for like facial expressions and everything. You gotta know the facial expressions of each character before you start shooting, because that way I'll be okay. I know what she's acting like. Is she having a good day or a bad day, or is it just whatever?
Yeah. No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I almost
No,
interrupted.
No. Sorry, I was clearing my throat.
But it's kind of like Monica. She has like this like inherent smile on her face. So like, even like if I'm talking like this, normally I have to like make myself smile because you can hear that I'm smiling. But if I'm like going down like this is me just having an inherent straight face. Our muscles in our like body and our joints in our face, they dictate how we sound a lot of the times. So like if Monica's like happy and joyful in that photo, then I'm gonna talk like I'm happy and joyful, because that just means that I'm able to recreating how that character sounds.
Okay. Yeah, because I know when most people, and I spoke to them before, like some people when they start some shows like this, they either do research on the character and all that stuff and read the manga. And listen, some of you guys don't have time to research because we got to get shooting right away. Y'all just kind of just learn on the fly and just adapt pretty much. And I'm starting to understand, okay, well, shoot. So some people don't have time to research. Like, it's like trying to study for a test, but you got a pop quiz coming up.
Yeah.
So that's the tricky part. So, but I think, depending on what the situation is, if y'all have time to research the stuff. If y'all don't, just do what y'all can when y'all get there.
Exactly that.
So, but I think ain't the way you're doing it. Facial expressions. Listen, every voice actor has a way of how they do their characters when they get into like the studio and start recording. So everybody has different ideas, but it's best the people to share those ideas as well.
Absolutely. Don't gatekeep.
Exactly.
If
Don't
you gatekeep,
gatekeep.
you're afraid. I'm sorry to say that. I'm not afraid of anybody in that way. I've always said this to be prevalent. I don't see people as like competition. I see them as my colleagues. I see them as my friend. And like, in my opinion, I'm not going to sit here and hide any information on like things that I have learned, because honestly, I'm like, what's wrong with that? I should feel confident with my own audition that even if I share the way that I'm thinking or like how I'm going about it, it shouldn't bother me and be like, oh, they're going to get it because I told them that thing and da-da-da. No, that's not how I feel at all.
Exactly. Well, keep doing in that thing, and and when you get the chance, sit down. Like, listen, I know you have a listen. I've seen so many you voice actors following each other. Like, sit down and talk about certain things that can improve on shows.
Exactly.
So now, next up, what's something you struggled with early on that you've now improved?
Hearing my own voice and liking it.
That
That
works.
because you're sitting here and you're having to listen back at yourself and you're like, oh, I sound stupid. Why did I do that? What do I sound like that? My own voice. I hate my own voice. Like, I had to deal with that. And then just saying, heck with it. It is what it is. I love my voice now. I know what it's geared toward. I know that it books. And honestly, I know that I was just insecure for no reason over the smallest things. And acting has been able to open up that pathway of not being insecure anymore. Like, I'm just a person. And even if some days I sound a little groggier or whatever it is, I like my voice now. But that was the thing, listening to myself and having to hear myself and not go, oh, I'm gonna delete this.
Mm. Yeah, and sometimes, as that's the sometimes you got to do the things you don't listen. My grandma told me one time, sometimes you got to do the things that we don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So listen to your own voice is one of those things because you gotta listen. Listen, I will say this. Sometimes when I think of all the bad stuff that happened in my life before, I just start saying words to block out all the bad memories.
Mm-hmm. I
But
understand that.
no matter how much however I try, they just keep coming back. But sometimes I got to look back on the bad memories as well. But
Mm-hmm.
same. But if it relates to your situation, but yes, getting used to your old voice and knowing, oh, what could I've done differently? It's part of the whole voice acting shtick.
Yeah.
So you got to get used to listen to your own voice, see if there's any improvements, because maybe bad, it may be good, maybe worse, but you need to listen to your previous plays so you can do better the next time.
Exactly. That's exactly how it is.
So, but looks like you've gotten used to it.
No, yeah, for sure. I can sit here and hear myself normally or acting. I just felt, I guess that thing you said in the back of your head, you're thinking oh, that person telling me oh, you can't do voice acting and da da da. And it's well, how am I supposed to doing voice acting if I can't get used to having to hear myself back and listening to my, because it's kind of dang, I just had to get used to it. And yeah, I like my voice now. I'm chilling. It's unique and I love it.
There you go. Well, hey, it's working, so keep
Mm-hmm.
doing
Thank you.
it. um, how do you continue to sharpen your skills outside of booked work?
Honestly, um, dang, I would say classes for sure, workshops for sure, and you know, I have to say this about my partner. He genuinely, he's also a voice actor too. His name is Christopher Kaz.
Mr.
Um,
Cass?
mm-hmm. He is one of the most honest people in my entire life I've ever met, and we can sit here and have these honest conversations and talk about every single month what we could do better, what is something that we can enhance on. Hey, let me listen to you do an audition and I'll give you honest critiques. And it's not biased, it never is. He's my best friend, and he has been able to be such a great partner in that way, to be able to help me sharpen my skills and get me to where I am and tell me, hey, you need to take these risks, you need to do this, you need to do that. And it's I do that for him back. So it's having somebody be honest with you, that isn't just buying and having to go do classes, somebody just sitting there being honest with you and not trying to hurt you, just tell you honesty, that has to be one of the best ways to sharpen your skills, honestly.
Hey, voice acting couples is a great thing to have.
Oh yeah, it just happens to make it easy. You understand each
Like,
other's schedules.
listen, I've seen so many voice actor couples. You got Jason LeBetre, Elizabeth Maxwell. They've been dating for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Emily Neves and David Matriar just got engaged last fall.
Oh.
AJ Beggles and Eros, they've been together for
Mm-hmm.
a bit. They already got married.
Yeah.
And Kelsey Cruz and Jordan Dash Cruz, they got married. See, that's what I'm saying. I like how because I'm really, like I say, now we're sitting down talking, I get to understand like all the couples that I've seen together with voice acting. That's nice. Like I said, love is love regardless. But when y'all do those kind of things, y'all become one entire person. Y'all get to do the things that y'all want to do. And maybe that should be a thing, voice acting couples. That should be a thing. Maybe I need to have like some kind of special event or something. I don't
All
know.
I'm saying, like, look, you could literally do like a little like Jeopardy thing, but it's like all the voice acting couples and what they know. But it's just voice acting is so intimate at the same time. So it's like um I can't even remember. Like, I immediately remember my first time doing auditions, and I heard Christopher's voice for an audition, and I was like, he's talented. Like, he just stuck in the back of my head, and I was like, that dude's talented. And we would sit there for hours, just sitting there talking about techniques and like understandings and like what we love, and then meeting up and just like, slowly, gradually getting to where we are. It's like, dang, that is my best friend and somebody I can trust with like my whole life, and then somebody that's also my colleague that I'm like, dang, like he literally just got into Drops of God as like a main character, like, or one of the main characters, but he's doing great. Like, we literally got into anime the exact same time. He got into Drops of God and then a bunch of Walla stuff, and then I'm trying to remember the other stuff he's got into recently. It's been a lot. And then immediately the next week I got into Reborn, and then I got into Mistress at the same time, and it was just like, whoa, wait a minute, there's a lot happening.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot's happening. But yeah, I say this it's having, people who are into the same stuff into your life and understanding their perspectives and you helping him as well. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this, y'all got, like I said, y'all have to support each other. Listen to people's auditions as well. Like, when Kelsey told me when she was starting out, like, Jordan was telling her, like she would have Jordan listen to her auditions to see how she did. So
Mm-hmm.
y'all doing the same thing as well.
We're doing the same. It just happens. I'm telling you, and more interviews you do, you're gonna find all the more secret little like couples you didn't know about. It's so funny in this industry. You'll just find them. It's just like little trickles.
Man, I'm like Detective Sherlock Holmes.
No, literally, like if you see somebody taking a picture long enough, you'll start seeing who it is.
They exactly. So,
They're posting each
all
other
right,
for a reason.
exactly. Last one, and then we'll be in section three, okay?
Okay.
What's your mindset going into an audition?
My mindset, and this is just me being religious, I literally pray to God. I immediately, before I get into an audition, I literally tell God, I'm not even like telling him like, hey, like, make sure I do good. I'm like, hey God, can you just be with me? Just guide me. You've already guided me to the path that I need to go to for voice acting and for what I'm doing. Just, if this is right for me, guide me through it. If it's not, it's an experience to be learned. I always ask him to be present with me during auditions. I pray before I go to go into the studio. There's such a comfort knowing that now for myself. But yeah, I go into auditions really trying to keep a blank slate. Like, whatever, and I'm not kidding. My audition process and what I do for both the studios, I turn off the lights so that the only thing I can see is the monitor. And I will sit there and just try to make sure that because if I see myself, then it's like I'm taking myself out of the immersion. I need to try to make myself believe that I'm that character by like literally turning off the lights, and the only thing I see is this white monitor, and I look like a crazy person in a cave.
Okay, yeah, that'll do it. Sometimes you
Mm-hmm.
need to have some quiet in here, turn off the lights, and just look out the monitor. It's like pretty much you're sleeping, but all you see is like white space.
Exactly. So it like takes you out of the immersion that it's like if I can see myself, then it's like dang. But if I can like imagine for a moment, I have a very active imagination, so that helps out for auditions.
There you
But
go.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, shoot, well, that works too. Some close your eyes. Because I know some people like to be in the zone and they don't want to be disturbed. Make sure it's quiet and you don't got a secure place.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Exactly.
so it's working. It's working. So, but yeah. And to be honest, I don't like the lights. Listen, sometimes when
I
I'm
don't either.
online, I have to turn off the lights because the lights over here are super bright, and so I have to use like my own. What is that blasted thing? Oh, it's right there. I have to use this instead.
Ooh, what is that?
It's my own ring light thing.
Oh, that's a good ring light then. I've never seen that. Oh
It
my
turns
god.
on.
No,
Yeah,
that
it's
is. That's like your
yeah,
own sun.
yeah, but yeah, it has different colors too.
Oh, that's cool.
Wait, hold on. That's the wrong button.
Ooh. My god, you can blind a bear with that. Jesus.
Darien headlights. So, my mom got me this for Christmas. She's trying to help me with my career.
Got you. I love that. That's so sweet.
And so yeah, those yeah, whatever lighting you got, screen have a computer screen. Listen, sometimes I be glued to my computer screen, and it's like I need the lights off so I can focus. Sometimes, but it's not good for your eyes. But if you're
Mm-hmm.
doing like whatever type of work you're doing, say with voice acting, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
gotta have like the perfect background and plan and whatever theme works for you when you start doing these kind of things, because I know some of you guys like to have no distractions at all. So even if it means turn
Yeah.
off the lights and just be in a dark room with just the screen on, that works too.
Absolutely.
So, oh, so we're out of that section. Now we're in section three, industry experience.
Ooh.
Now, you've worked in animation, comics, and video games. Now, how do those experiences differ for you?
Okay. So with the comics, I will say Storyco as a company, they work with Webtoon to kind of go into this. They are very similar to video games because in anime, and this is kind of the truth of it, anime is kind of hard to have your own creativity to it because you have to sit there and match the lip flaps. So it's like with anime, you're like having to really think on the fly. You're having to cold read as quick as you can, within the time duration that you have, and it's almost like, okay, how am I going to think about this and this? And it's like you can't have the pauses, you can't have the laughs, you can't have certain little things in there. You got to make sure it's all condensed exactly sometimes how the like Japanese has to be in order for everything to fit well. But with anime with video games and with comics, the way they have it is like you can have a little bit more pauses. Like they're animating with video games, they're animating around you most of the time. So what they'll do with video games is they'll have you voice something and then they'll animate around that so that you don't have to sit there and worry about like the lip flaps and all that. You can sit there and have that moment of like gasp or like sitting there clenching your fist or sitting there getting angry or laughing a crap ton. You have more space to be creative than you can with anime sometimes. So that I would say that's how it differs. I would say video games and comics are a little bit more, I would say, creative, and with anime, you're having to really think on the fly.
Mm, yeah, it's because I'm saying like not just anime, like you guys go to different sort of settings and situations in these different areas, such as video games, animation, and comics, anime, because all these are not the same style as they are. Because with
Mm-hmm.
video games, y'all got to deal with like expressions and everything, especially like like when a how can I say, when a video game player makes an ultimate move off of like Mortal Kombat or something, y'all have to come up with that specific set of like you know specific set of tones for that character in the game.
Like
It's
the get
it's
over here, like that.
yes, yes. Get over here. Yeah, Scorpion. Scorpion's crazy.
He's
So
crazy.
I like Sub-Zero though.
Hey, no, that's the big. I think Sub Zero, like outfit wise, has gotten way cooler than Scorpion. Scorpion was that guy, but like the recent iterations, you're like, oh, Sub Zero's that dude. Let me hold on. Let me hold it. Like I was a Katana girl for the longest. I was a Melina girl. Now I'm a Jade girl. I love Jade. Jade and Sonya Blade. I literally love.
Yeah. So, yeah, all those characters, and even like animation, comics too. Like now, maybe in comics, like because what is it, webtoon or something? Because
Yeah, webtoons.
it's not kind of like the comics area right there, like
Yeah, so
where you
it's
have to
literally
make.
like. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's literally an app now. So you literally like go on Webtoons, and now instead of like being able to like read manhwa and stuff like that, you can literally push the play button, and now it's like full-fledged animation, and there's now voice acting involved.
Oh, okay. Because I know I've seen a few stuff like that. Because when they did like something like the Shonen Jump stuff on YouTube for My Hero Academia, there was a few like the Japanese voice actors did do a few lines in there, but they
Mm-hmm.
didn't like the characters in the comics weren't moving their mouth at all. They had to like really
Mm-mm.
show their expressions to like, hey, I'm voicing this section, and then the comic does the same thing.
Exactly. So it's weird in like Webtoons. You'll only see like the character open the mouth like once, and that's indicating that the character's talking. And then when the mouth is closed, that's internal dialogue a lot of the times. So unless the
Wow.
character's, yeah, it's very weird. It's like you know when it's like internal when their mouth is closed. You know when it's external when their mouth is just open rather than flaps.
Okay. Well, shoot. I never even watched. I never even looked at Webtoon once. Listen. I've been getting so many messages saying that I need to check out Webtoon. And I was like, okay, I'll take a look at it. I do listen, I got so much stuff to do for the summer. Like I already got shows to binge watch, conventions to go
Mm-hmm.
to. I was like, I guess I better add this to my to-do list this summer.
Fogland just got a thing on Billboard, like literally in Times Square. Fogland, one of the webtoons that I'm voicing in, and my best friend Jason Zamowski is the lead for that. Like literally, there was a billboard for webtoons for Fogland, like in the middle of Times Square. It's
Mm.
getting crazy. It's getting absolutely insane to where we're freaking out, being like, "What's going on?" Like this has never happened to where webtoons is becoming such a big thing like this because of voice acting.
I'll make sure to take a look at that.
I'm telling you, it's good. And you play it on the TV. They got a way that you can literally stream it on your TV.
Sweet.
Hmm.
Okay, I'll do that. Well, we are officially at the halfway marker before we continue, and you probably know the answer to this question. Are you enjoying our discussion so far?
I've been loving it. I'm having so much fun. I really am. Are you?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm having a great time. I'm literally just smiling. I literally am having fun.
There you go. Oh, number 11. Which medium do you feel most connected to right now?
Hmm. Like in general, I want to say video games.
Okay.
Like I would just say, yeah, video games. I feel like as a medium, I'm very, very connected to at the moment. I would say because, like I said, like it's just very much they're animating around me. So when I voice act a lot of the times, I get to have so much fun because I get to sit there and I'm not kidding. A game that I'm in that hasn't got the prologue released, I scream for 15 minutes straight in pure agony because they
Mm.
just wanted to see how long I could do it for the scene alone. And they were like, okay, we'll animate around it. Thanks, Darian.
Wow, you scream. It was like a death scene or something?
It's a death scene, yeah. It's not instant. It's like basically that trying to think how to word this. Basically it's like a virus that's like infecting the entire bloodstream, and it's like
Oh, God.
at the last 5 second mark. I have to sit there and pretend like blood is gargling in my throat as it's like rising.
Wow. Sorry, you were
Hmm.
thinking of death scenes, and I was thinking about those funny burning character death yells in Gears of War
Oh
when they
my
get
god.
set on fire. It was
I
so
haven't
hilarious.
done something goofy yet like that. I want to. Everything I've done is like very dramatized. I do want to be like a ah.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Listen, sometimes I'll be playing the Gears of War, the Gears 5 like character matches when I be burning people to death with a flamethrower. I'd be laughing
Mm-hmm.
at their screams
No,
because
literally.
they are in pain. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's just kind of hilarious. I was like, oh shoot, this is too funny not to laugh at.
It's same thing
Uh,
with GTA. Like any of the GTA games, when you hit somebody or you like pull somebody out of the car, and they're like, "Hey, my car!" Like that's funny to
I
me.
actually got one. The funniest one I like is Cut Off, man. I actually just put up the video while you were talking just now because I just wanted
Mm-hmm.
you to listen to it for a second. Hold on.
Oh my god, it's like the SpongeBob. Oh my leg, like it's about the same equivalent.
Did you hear the end of that yell too?
Yes, it
That
is
was
so.
That is so hilarious. Like, shoot, so I was like, when I burned, so pretty much when I burned Colonel Hoffman like that, I'm gonna hear his funny burn
Mm-hmm.
death. That is hilarious. You know, oh, my
Oh my
cheekbones
god.
hurt.
No, I was about to say, I've literally having to massage mine. Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh.
God. Woo, man. Yeah, those crack me up. So yeah, so pretty much the death yells in the video games is your medium.
And that is my medium. I love anytime. Here's the archetype that I have been cast for every video game, for every webtoon. It's the super energetic girl that immediately starts wanting to scream bloody murder because she goes through a traumatic event. I am the gradual traumatic realization of what's going on.
Wow.
That's my
That's
medium.
shoot. Well, shoot, keep doing that medium. It's hilarious.
Thank you, I will. I'll keep being a tragic character that screams bloody murder.
Oh, next question. Now, what's been your most challenging role or audition so far?
Ooh. Challenge. Okay. It has to be Ami. It has to be.
I figured
Because,
beyond me.
yeah, it's a character that, like, I have never, and you can look at my discography, I have never played an overtly sexual character ever in my life. So, like, I had to do a lot of, like, doing stuff that kind of was making it more comfortable, where instead of, like, really pushing towards Ami being a lot more sexual, I have pushed towards Ami being a lot more goofy. I'm still, like, able to portray that she's a sexual character, but I think it's been I think my director, Manny Aragon, he said, before we got
Yeah,
started,
I've seen some of his work.
he's a great director. But Manny Aragon literally looked at me and said, "Okay, Darian, so that we don't make this weird, I'm going to tell you if you need to add a little bit more sugar on it," which basically means since this character's more sexual, if the line isn't giving more sugar, I'm going to tell you, "Hey, Darian, add more sugar to that." And that's what we started saying is add more sugar. That has been our thing throughout the process because it I am so happy he trusted me with it, and I love the role of Ami. I would not take it away. But it has been so much of a hooping and hollering session anytime that we play, or we're like, oh my god, okay, next one, oh my god. Because it's like, it's embarrassing at sometimes, but I have a lot of fun with the final product.
You know, I just be wondering all those like those etchy the fan servers, because I know Jamie how do I say her last name?
You're talking about
Jamie.
voice actor for Rias, right? In Panty?
Yes,
She
yes.
is, that's her notorious thing. She's so good at what she does.
But I was like, how are they comfortable saying all this?
That, like, I genuinely believe it has to be the fact that they've done it for so long. And when I tell you that this is High came first. High was something that I got on a Tuesday, and then being told on a Wednesday that I got Ami. They're two drastically different characters. I'm playing as a little boy for Reborn, and then I have to go in the studio the next day and be a voluptuous, very sexual, funny woman the next day. It is such a funny way of like going back and forth. I swear to God, it's so funny.
Yeah, and guess what? When I was like, well, they've gotten used to this, so it really doesn't phase them.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But I feel like certain lines, though, I think I joke about certain lines that are kind of crazy. That my
mm,
friends and I they have a soundboard of me saying, I don't know if you're gonna delete this part. Ami says this one line in episode 2 that I had to, like, literally had to control myself. Honk those honkers, or let him honk those honkers, and he'll be gooning over the moon for you. That's a soundbar on one of my Discord servers I'm in with my friends. It is one of the most embarrassing things ever. Oh my god! But it's so funny and it's so stupid. It's just so funny. I'm sorry. I just had to think about that. Just
no, it's
I
okay.
had to do
Listen, I'm not. Listen, there's no filters. Go crazy.
it. Thank you.
So, but yeah, I think, some people, if you've been doing this for a long time and it doesn't phase you, then fine. Sure. Because I
Mm-hmm.
know, because, sometimes, I've seen so many people who get used to all the fan service and edgy stuff, and I was like, it's only for mature audiences. And listen, I be telling people I'm about to watch this. Do not watch if you're under 18. So
Yeah.
I'm a responsible person. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I've got because when I be watching like stuff like High School DxD, and then there was Rosario Event, I was like, meh,
No, yeah,
you know,
it's just that we're used to that. That was the pinnacle, and so now a lot of the stuff is like, oh, that's not as bad as High School DxD. Ah, it's
so
not as bad as Rosario Vampire. Like, we're
so.
just like, it is.
Yeah, so I've gotten used to it too, to be honest. So if I see Jamie, I'm be like, well, we both gotten used to it. It's like it don't phase me that much. It's just a show. At the end of the day, it's
It's
just a
just a
show. It
show.
don't matter.
Exactly. I'm not that character. I'm not doing those things. All I'm doing is help bring her to life in the English dub. That's all
It,
I'm doing.
That's what I be saying, and some of these fans just don't understand that.
Oh,
Like,
they don't.
listen. I'll say this and say this, and I actually had a few discussions with a few cosplayers who were at Anime Week in Atlanta when we were actually about to talk to Brittany Karbowski. By the way, Brittany is very, very amazing. She's very sweet. She's interested in talking to me at a later time.
Ooh.
She we had a discussion about some of the fans do kind of crazy eat situations, and it's like, because I actually was going to do a video by saying like, listen, I've been going to conventions since I was 18 years old, as
Mm-hmm.
evident with the shirts I be wearing. But there's something about conventions that makes people, how can I put this, fall into madness and do things that they really shouldn't be doing.
Exactly. It's
So one of those examples, if you remember what happened back in August, there's this fan who was stalking Zach Angler at Collecticon. I don't know which one it was.
Oh, are you talking about the Zach Aguilar thing that happened?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah, no, and it was like a whole big thing to where like she got kicked out of the con with her dad, and she was trying to call her dad. It was a whole big thing. She's been stalking him for like I at least think like a year. I remember that. That was insane. I felt bad for him.
I was like, the hell?
No,
Oh,
literally, I'm like, I understand that like anime can sometimes like take people out of it, but like at the end of the day,
they're just
that's not
people.
that character. That's not that character, and you have to like, I hate that has to be specified in so many ways. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah, and listen, and I use another example. This isn't an isolated incident either. If you remember WWE star Rhea Ripley,
yeah.
someone someone found her house while she was out of the country. That was
Oh,
crazy. That was crazy. And
oh.
guess what? And I like how, and one of the cosplayers I talked to while we were at Anime Week in Atlanta, someone was trying to trying to say to Eric Vale's wife, hey, what's it like being married to Trunks? And I was like, that's not Trunks, that's my husband, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is why, and guess what? The cosplayer actually agreed with me because we both respect all the work you're doing. I told him like, listen, y'all. So respect the voice actors, okay? Taking the time out of their day, spending money out of their pockets to come and see us,
Mm-hmm.
because
And
you guys are spending money out of your pockets.
I know, Nassim, he has spent, I think he told me on his con stuff, like at least $1,000. And that's for prints, and that's for getting the Squarespace thing, and that's for getting the banner and all that nonsense and the traveling. It's a lot of money being spent just to be able to interact with fans and let yourself be like, hey, I voice this character. I hope you like that. And they're like,
It,
yeah.
exactly. So that's what I'm saying. And guess what? Some of these people like that. I'm like, look, listen, I'm one of the good ones out there. I respect your word, y'all.
Thank you.
At the end of the day, we're human at the end of the day.
Hmm.
So let's keep enjoying what we like without doing anything insane, okay?
Literally, can we not ruin it for everybody else? Because
It,
I'm an anime fan. I wanted to sit there and go see Alex Lee really bad. And as I was waiting in line, there were just people that were being like overtly weird, saying the shit they were saying. And like you can see on his expression that it was just like weird. And I was like, I'm getting out of line. Because like that would ruin my day as a voice actor saying some overtly sexual stuff to me. Like, I've heard it's very weird. That's very weird. It ruins it for a lot of people, especially like as a voice actor that's like, a fan of these other people's works. When you're looked at as a fan, you're kind of like, oh, you're like them. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I don't want to be like them. I just want to say, hey, good job. Like, I think you're doing fantastic. I love to be able to get one of your prints. Can we take a photo? That's it.
It that's all. Just take the prints and listen. If they have time to do the other things, just be cultured. Tell them what you're doing. Tell them what you're doing first, and
Hmm.
then we'll figure it out at a later date.
Exactly. If they feel comfortable with it, or do they even like being touched? Do you like being touched? Like,
That's the same that I actually said. Listen, when I went to cut break or Roger, she said, "Can I put your arm around you?" I was like, I was going to ask you the same thing. I just want your consent first before I did the same thing too, because
mm-hmm,
I'm respectful. And he said, "She." And guess what? We both agree that we're all asking for consent first. Cosplay is
mm-hmm,
not consent. Voice acting is not consent. And
mm-mm,
some people just don't understand that. That's why you got people like me speaking out about these things.
mm-hmm. Because it needs
Things.
to. We're people at the end of the day, just like everybody else is. And the bigger ones that have to deal with that, I condolences. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry
Mm-hmm.
people can't tell reality from like fiction.
It's so yeah. So yeah. Let's keep enjoying what we love doing without doing anything weird. People, come on. We're all adults
Exactly.
here. So
Fuck it.
so. Last question out of this, and it will be in the next question, next section, because next one's going to be about identity and representation. Okay.
Okay.
So, what do you think people misunderstand most about voice acting as a career?
That we're acting. They genuinely think that voice actors aren't acting, that they're not better than other actors, or that we're not as represented as much as any other actors. Like I hate to bring him up again. Alex Lee has sat there in the booth and cried his eyeballs out trying to understand how to do like literally be invincible. Like how to be able to convey like Stephen Young's like performance while also like getting into the feeling of it. And like he is one of the best actors that comes to that when it comes to being that like so centered with understanding emotions. Like I have sat there and gotten to the booth, I have cried, I've turned red, I've almost passed out from like screaming and crying and like laughing, like and like you're just as much as an actor as like anybody else is. It the biggest thing I'm pretty sure you probably heard in the industry, you know, voice is like lowercase while acting is capitalized. We're acting with our voices. We're trying to do what other actors can't, which is acting in general is a lot of body language. When we go to movies, we're like seeing the body language of this person, like basically acting out stuff. But voice acting, we have to convey every single thing that they're doing, but with our voices only alone. And I feel like we contribute just as much to acting, just as much as any other actors too. We're actors just as well.
Exactly. And I will say this too, and I like that you brought that up because you guys, as you guys bring a lot of emotions. Like I'm not actually there, but I do understand your feelings. I wish though, but they don't do tours anymore because people are being weird and just trying to get to the VAs.
Mm-hmm.
But but understanding you guys and talking to you right here in person and understand what you guys are going through because some of you guys like to bring like your personal life experiences. Like I've seen so many VAs bring themselves into booth, and they bring like something in their personal life to affect this entire scene. Take Manly Flanagan, who did Naruto. When
Mm-hmm.
Naruto met his mom for the first time, she had to drop something really painful because her mom unfortunately passed away a few years ago. Condolences to her,
Oh,
and she had
hell
to
yeah.
she had to bring that emotion into Naruto when he met his mother for the first time.
I'm thinking about that. It's so sad. It genuinely like kind of drive. I'm not gonna cry because it's such a beautiful scene. It is so, like, and then the other scene that's so beautiful is like when Minato has to finally go away after the war, and like he says Naruto, happy birthday, and you're like, oh, like the whole scenes with like anything with Naruto's family, like she just does fucking phenomenal. She's
She
a
does.
phenomenal actor. Oh my god.
And this goes back to what I was saying, like all the characters you've seen, they have their own like personal tragedies and experiences. And I talked to this to some of the people who do like these. When I talked to Ryan the other day, we was when I talked to Ryan Bartley the last week, we was talking about with AI, computer and AI, even computers have feelings. Like Yuna and Sage, Sage and Sonic Frontiers, Yuna and Sword Art Online, they both have they both have like emotions. Even as AI, they have emotions. Sage was created by Dr. Eggman,
Mm-hmm.
but she's been paying attention to the interactions with Sonic and his friends across the Starfall Islands. She's been, Amy, Knuckles, and Tails. When she finally paid attention to Sonic and Tails' relationship, when Tails was like, I think I need to go it alone for a while. Like, am I always a burden to you and all that stuff?
Oh.
And, she started crying because, I wish I never should have seen this. And she was starting to understand the emotions and the relationship Sonic was having while they were stuck on the Starfall Islands. Because there was a few things, that because the thing is, I completed Chaos Island right before I talked to Ryan this week.
Mm-hmm.
And he was saying, like, am I a burden to you? It was like, where's this coming from? And he was telling him, like, you've done so many things. Like, who was it that stopped Eggman for blowing up Station Square? Sonic Adventure, 1999. And
Mm-hmm.
who saved me from the Deadly Six's evil trap? Sonic the Lost World, 2013.
Yeah.
And that I'm wildly inconsistent. And, dude, relax. You
Mm-hmm.
got brains like Eggman, speed like me, and you can fly with your butt.
Mm-hmm.
So he was saying, it's okay if you still need help sometimes. It's just part of growing
Yeah.
up.
It is that. Sonic Frontiers had so many good lessons and so many good topics that need to be talked about.
Hmm.
Like, that's why I love Sonic Frontiers. I could talk about that for hours. But yeah, no, her performance as Sage was so good. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah, we have to have like she said, and like I told her, like we talked discuss, we gotta have humanity in those characters that we do. Like
Mm-hmm.
you can't be a good voice actor until you're well grounded in humanity first.
Exactly.
So, and that's how these characters. Listen, I could keep and listen. I got another example. I could just keep going. When I was watching, I was watching My Hero Academia in the final season, and All Might was like almost out of his armored All Might suit because as All for One was tearing him apart. So when he killed Stan and All Might was about to take the blast head on, Hercules, the AI, did one last as action
Mm-hmm.
for him, and then he was like I said before in the previous interview, he was saying, Hercules, what are you doing? And then
Mm-hmm.
she said, before my one last action, All Might, you must live.
Mm. Those things get so sad, man.
Hmm. So,
Just
like I
because.
said before, like that too, Alex Lee, the emotions, even computers have feelings. I know AI is becoming a thing these days, but if we look at the shows and the storylines, it's how human the computers are.
Mm-hmm. It's
So,
crazy.
so that's what I'm saying. Like, back in high school, I was mostly in for the entertainment, just want to see you guys. But now I get to a certain age and it's like, I want to understand you guys and look at the shows and look for any context clues.
Absolutely.
And that's what
Yeah.
I've been doing. I'm sorry, I didn't make
No,
you
no, no, no,
sad.
no, you're fine. I swear.
So,
Just
but yeah,
beautiful examples.
but yeah, that's the thing. All these stories we've seen, they deal with personal experiences. But yeah, like those scenes in Sonic Frontiers and the final season, I didn't think that AI would actually jump in and save All Might like that because that was,
Mm-hmm.
man, that was crazy.
That was crazy.
So, got a thing is, and it's funny that I'm saying this now because they're about to drop the final episode tomorrow, which is My Hero Academia
Mm.
more.
I know. And I saw
So,
clips. I'm so excited.
but and I actually talked to Chris Sabat about this back at Boat Missouri last year.
Mm-hmm.
He was sad that the show was ending, but we also talked about, part of the journey is the end, as Tony Stark Iron Man says, part of the journey is
Yeah.
the end. So, but it's been an amazing it's been an amazing show, and they're still doing more stuff. They're doing the live action movies. They're doing the spin-off Vigilantes.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I was like, are there really any more stories left to tell? But My Hero people ain't finished yet. There's still a few more stories left to tell.
There's still a few more for sure.
So, but yeah, and going back to that, yeah. So it's good to have those emotions when you get inside there and do crazy things. Like if you have to draw something very painful from your past for a specific scene, do that. I
Mm-hmm.
want to feel. I want to feel the gut punch when I watch the show.
For sure. No, I feel that for sure.
Mhm. So now, next part, let's see. Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Now we're at this part. Identity and representation. We're getting close to the end because there's only, yep. Wait, only six questions left, so we're doing
Okay.
good. I'm just keeping track.
No, you're fine.
Um, Now, how has being a Panamanian American influenced your perspective as a performer?
It's been never feeling like you are, how do I explain it? Never feeling like you are in the same space as everybody else. For that, because obviously, like, I'm very fair skinned, so a lot of people don't suspect that of me at all, of like who I am or what I am. And, my dad is a lot darker than I am. So a lot of people have always given us weird looks or perspectives or like never. I think a lot of the characters, when it comes to like me being Panamanian, is like the understanding of that, you're never going to fit into a box. You're never going to be exactly what people perceive you to be. You're never going to be the stereotype. You're never going to be anything like that. You are an individual that has so much more to offer to this world than just the identity of like what people think that you are. It's like I don't have to prove anything to you of like what I am, but you're making it feel like, I think I've got called exotic before. I've gotten called many different not great things that made me almost feel like an animal because people just didn't believe who I was, and because I didn't fit the stereotypes like in any way. And that has helped me a lot in understanding the characters that feel like they don't mesh well with other people, that feel like they're outsiders, feel like they can't be the person that they want to be. Like understanding that gradual understanding of those characters and the emotions that kind of come with it.
Mm, yeah. And I like how you're telling your heritage because I'm also listening. Every voice actor I spoke to, they have like it's nice that I get to talk to you guys about your heritage because I've seen like
Mm-hmm.
I wanna understand you guys' culture so I can get an understanding. Hence
Mm-hmm.
why I want to travel out of the country, go to different places and see what your cultures is like,
Mm-hmm.
because what's going on lately is that we have so many more people from across the globe coming to the States to do voiceover
Mm-hmm.
because had a discussion with somebody else who was saying like sometimes the American people don't have all the answers. We don't have all the tools, the equipment, or the necessities to make this show come out or movie to come out amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to learn how to like maybe if we can invite someone from a different culture and can help us experience and understand where we're trying to take this because it's we want to hear everyone else's people from different countries different perspectives on the show
For
and
sure.
bring it that add to themselves because you have so many people come across the states to do because I will say this there's not a lot of countries who have the studios we have in the US or Japan or etc.
Mm-mm.
And they have
It's
to
very
come
far
here
and few between.
yeah, and you have to come here to like, experience that. Caitlin Glass, she's trying to be diverse in the stuff. Caitlin is trying to bring more diverse voice people to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's nice because if I ever have a chance to sit down with her, hopefully in July, because I know it's going to be a while before I bring her on here to have a one-on-one discussion to ask her like, what's it like, bringing diverse people, having like those real questions ready for her to ask.
And I love that she does that. I know that Sean Gann has also very much talked on it, and they're very good friends. I think it's very much needed because I feel like when we have the same group of people that do the same group of things, that all think the same way and have never gone through the other trials and like tribulations that other people have gone through with different ethnicities, different nationalities, everything like that, then you can't give those different perspectives, like you said.
Yeah, just you can't, exactly different perspectives. Let's hear what the other people are saying. Like I've seen so many of you guys. You guys go to different conventions in other countries, Puerto Rico, Japan, Tokyo, because y'all want to experience and know what the culture's like. Sometimes not y'all don't be at the conventions. I be checking y'all Instagram posts. Y'all be go checking out the town and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and that's good. You need to have the like those slice of life moments where y'all get to ask those questions to different people who work at, stores, restaurants. experience what's it like in this country because we're like doing the same thing. We're at a convention now, but I'm trying to get ideas for the next project we're doing.
Exactly.
And that's why we have so many people, kids in like colleges, everything, I never did a study abroad thing. I was like, I missed out on so much because I was so focused on doing what I need to do as far as like, school. But now that I'm more free and I graduate, I have the chance to go out to different countries and have those like kind of steady like abroad questions for people to ask.
Absolutely. You get
So
it.
I think the best thing, we bring in voice actors who are from different countries. We travel to different countries, ask questions like, for you, Darian, like I asked this question because you are a Panamanian. I wanted to understand your heritage. So help me understand so I can get a better respect for it.
So, like, a big thing with like other Hispanic countries is that a lot of people will just basically say, "Oh, you're Mexican," and that's not it. And like, you can see a lot of Hispanic people get offended by that, which is reasonably so because a lot of our cultures are different. I personally never been to Panama. I was literally born here and my dad is Panamanian. So like we got to like have our family and my culture and all that around us all the time with my dad, and it's beautiful a lot of the times. The music is beautiful. Like a lot of the music is like more bachata and stuff like that. So honestly, it's a lot different than Mexico. Mexico is its own unique, beautiful thing, and I'm never going to discredit that. But when people decide to not, and even my boyfriend has this, my boyfriend is African, but a lot of people will be like, "Oh, so you're just from like somewhere in Africa?" He's like, "Well, I'm Nigerian. Like that's different." And like he has talked about that a lot of the time where people just won't even like, he's like, "Oh, you're just African," whatever. He's like, "Well, I'm Nigerian," and it's like same thing for me. I'm Panamanian. I'm not Mexican. I'm not whatever you want to put me under a label. And like the thing is that I don't like also is that Mexico is labeled as like the worst when it's not. Like we should, a lot of people will pin each other against each other in like Hispanic cultures, or for the fact of colorism is a big thing in Hispanic cultures too. Like if you're more fair, you're more beautiful. If you have colored eyes, you're more beautiful. And like people that are like darker, that are like my dad, he doesn't consider himself beautiful, and I hate that. I feel like it is just such a disservice sometimes. But also like the thing about Panama is like Panama has just these beautiful oceans, the beautiful canals. Everybody there is like just music and happy and dancing. Like that is what it's always been. And like the pride that like Panama has, because there's not a lot of Panamanian actors. I, on the tip of my hands right now, could not tell you any Panamanian actors. I can't. Like my name Darien is actually Darien. I just never put the accent on there because I wanted to make it easier for people. I wanted it to make it easier so that people can stop mispronouncing my name, or like anyway I'm like it's Darien, and even now I'll get called Doreen, Darren, Dorian, and that's fine. I get that some people don't know, but it's like some people don't even want to try with my name, and that's like dang, like I try with yours, but like you can't even do the same courtesy for mine. Just like stuff like that pretty much.
I'm willing to do that for you.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
That's what I'm saying. Like people like me, I'm willing to sit down in a room and just understand.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes back to what I was saying, like, different cultures and everything. And this goes back to how some fans in television and shows just see y'all as characters, but they don't see as human beings. And this goes back to like that incident with Zach.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, we get to a certain point in our lifetime where, as I said before, growing up is a process. It's it takes time. Like I said, in high school, I was, and this goes back, and I'm saying, and I said this before, I apologize for being late to the party.
Okay.
But it's part of, even some of you guys told me, don't be sorry. It's part of growing up. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have to apologize for not being able to understand when you were just in high school. It takes time to develop, like, and understand what the work we do and how it works. And same thing with y'all, like, learn about different people's heritage. Like if you have people who are just willing to sit down, take the time out of their day to just, have these kind of discussions, then that's what's going to matter in the end.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Clock
So,
it. I'm doing
There you go. Now, this one's going to be a two-part question, and then we'll be at the finale, okay?
Okay.
Now, what does representation and voice acting mean to you personally? Now, do you feel the industry is moving in the right direction when it comes to diversity? And I know Caitlin and Sean have been talking a lot about trying to bring diversity, so they're already in a good place, but there's still more work to be done.
I feel like that in this industry, and this is my personal view on it, I feel as though that in a lot of cases, when it's like K-pop demon hunters, that makes so much sense to have diversity in that way. Being like, okay, yeah, absolutely, put only like Korean actors in there. That makes so much sense. That genuinely does. It's like that understanding that and telling the story. And I feel as though that like I think we need to give other voice actors a chance and just even like accents. One of my good friends, Rafael Lima, he has a little bit of like an accent in like the best way possible, but his like it just gives his character so much. It gives it so much like just like I love the way that he literally like sounds and acts. There are so many people in this industry that we don't give enough credit to, like people that even have a different accent than you and I. Even for me, I've lived here my whole life, and I have a little bit of a Texas twang to it. So, like even now, I'm kind of straining. But you've probably heard me slip up a couple of times, sounding like kind of country. But
You're fine.
it's like you have to make sure that you're also like pitch perfect to what the entire world wants to see you as. It's like, okay, yeah, you're that diversity, but you have to sound very generic in order for us to cast you. It's like we're still kind of being put into this like box of like, yeah, you're the diversity we want, but you gotta kind of sound normal. And it's like, well, what does normal sound like to you? You know what I mean? But I get it. It's an understanding because, like, different people and different cultures. But at the same time, I feel like there is work to be done. I feel like there is more inclusivity and there's more people that can have the opportunity. Like people like Sean and Caitlin being able to do that. I know that Sean for Apothecary Diaries predominantly hires a lot of, like, Asian actors. And I think that's great. I think that makes so much sense for Apothecary Diaries to have that. It's a better understanding.
Mhm. I watched a few episodes, and I did interview Rochelle and Kelsey back in season one.
Oh.
Very amazing people. I'm
Mm-hmm.
starting to pay attention to Apothecary Diaries, and we're already working on trying to talk to Sean Gann later when I start season three.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to because I'm trying to understand because I've been watching some of the show for a while now, and I'm starting to get understand. Okay, so pretty much Apothecary Diaries talks about Chinese culture, if I got this right,
Mm-hmm.
and how they do things back in the day. Pretty much like ancient times. If I don't remember, I don't know the year per se, but I'm not going to exert the energy to find out right now. But how they do traditions as well as like, because pretty much it's like the stuff they do is kind of like a fashion show or fashion
Mm-hmm.
sense, and this is like how they usually do it. Traditions like I don't know how they do it in like Vietnam and China now,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm starting to get a taste of it by just watching the episodes.
Yeah, the thing about Apothecary Diaries that's so beautiful is, like you said, it's almost like a Criminal Mind show. Mama herself is an apothecary, which is somebody that literally like does like poisons and like treats people's like with oh my god, I can't even say amenities. Oh my god, medicine. She treats them with medicine. My god, but it's like the fact that people for one of the characters' name I forgot what her name was. She's one of the redheaded characters. I want to say Gyogyo, but I
Yeah,
forgot her name was.
Gyoko, Lady Gyoko.
Mm-hmm. She was wearing a traditional like outfit, but it was like not tight on her, and people were like figuring out she was pregnant. It was like those small things back in that time. They didn't have social media like we did. They didn't have anything like that. They had to understand the key details in that show to be able to know what's going on and why the drama's being spread. You know what I mean? And that's why I love it, and I love the actors for it too.
Of course, of course. I actually met Emily Lowe at Anime Weekend Atlanta. She's very
She's
sweet.
sweet. I love
We're
her.
trying. I'm trying to talk to her one of these days, 1-on-one. It's a work in progress. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because I've been seeing a lot of stuff lately. They're getting on third season. There's a movie coming out this Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
and they're doing a live action movie now.
I know.
So
So
I'm
good.
trying to. So yeah, I just if I can spare a few times asking them. This is why I like doing this stuff kind of stuff like these shows and stuff and all the other people I be interviewing, not just the VAs. I want to understand what their experiences and cultures are, so I can like I said, if I don't know, I want to come up to you guys and say, hey, can you guys educate me on it so I can know.
Absolutely.
So, and you did that for me just now, Darian. Like I asked you for permission if you can educate me on it,
Mm-hmm.
and there we go.
No. Consent is easy and is key. That's all it gotta be.
Yeah, just ask first to see if they got time to explain it to you. If not,
Mm-hmm.
we'll pick a later date.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, all right, we're at the conclusion now. Future and vision. So, what are your biggest goals over the next few years?
My biggest goals, I have to say, is to get representation, is to be able to have a commercial demo. I want to do commercial very, very bad. I'm still in classes, like training for it. Move to LA, and I want to get in shape so that I can be a motion capture actor.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, that seems
Yeah.
exciting.
Mm-hmm. I'm very excited for that in my journey.
Can't wait to check it out. I'll be there.
Thank
I'll be
you.
sitting right there waiting and watching.
Yay! I hope it's like Resident Evil. That's what I want. Is either Resident Evil or Silent Hill.
Okay, sweet. And then next, let's see. What if you could voice any type of character or join any franchise, what would it be?
I have like so many. I'm gonna put it down to any Guilty Gear character. Because if you played a Guilty Gear game, that is the best soundtrack in the whole world. All the outfits look good, a fighting game character. So any like character that's like original for Guilty Gear, probably.
Okay, sweet.
I love Guilty Gear.
That works. And lastly, when people hear your name in the future, what do you want it to represent?
I want it to represent how much this world needs people that are genuine. I want to be known as being genuine and honest and kind. That's what I want it to represent. It doesn't matter what I have on my shelf in 10 years, even if it's like a crap ton of rewards or it's not. I would just want to be known as like an actor that is genuine and kind and understanding.
That's all that matters. We just want
Mm-hmm.
peace.
Peace. I'm just fine, just chilling out and having a good time.
There you go. Well, I think that officially wraps it up. And did you enjoy our discussion today?
I loved it. First interview is the best interview. Thank you so much for having me on. I loved it.
Appreciate it. Glad I could live up to your expectations.
You're all good. I'm glad. I hope that you had fun.
I did.
Okay, I'm glad. Thank you so much for having me on, and I hope to see you again soon because I had so much fun.